I just want to talk about the B550 chipset real quickly. So there seems to be a known issue with the B550, and it seems to affect the AMD socket AM4 processor. There's something in the AM4 instruction set which causes a USB power surge or dropout issue in the motherboard. Now, I've already had one of these boards in and it had the issue, and now I've got the second one in and it has the same issue. Different brand. So we have the we've got the Gigabyte version, and then we've got the Asus. Both of them had the latest BIOS flash, but it has not solved the problem. I've been on the forums and I have looked at, I've disabled USB legacy support, I've altered the C state. There's a bunch of things that you can do. None of it solved the problem. And what I have is a Model 24 sound card. And I'm just going to run a couple demos and just show you what it's like when I play a song. So if I play a tune, okay, so you can see it's picking up the Model 24 there at the moment. I'm just going to restart it because I just plug it into a different USB port. I'll have to restart it, so I'll just put it back on. Now I'm going to switch on the song. Just check that it picks it up first, which it has. Okay, good. So we'll just pick a song of some sort. And let's see if it plays it. So it is actually playing it at the moment, but there's no sound coming through. And now that's one of the USB ports. I have found one USB port where the sound will come through. So what I'll do is just quickly change that USB port over here. And we'll just select another USB port. The one that was stable was this one and this one. These two were quite stable, so I might just try one of the, I think it's one of the twos, one of the USB 2s. One of the USB 3 ports. So we've got it in a different port now. I'll just switch it off, switch it back on. And we'll try again. So this is with the Strix in, the Rogue Strix B550A. But from what I've read, it's all of the B550 chipsets. Okay, so this one's playing this time in a different USB port, but you can hear some popping there. So I'll just switch off the laser so it's a bit clearer. And there we go, it just dropped out. So that's just dropped out at 25 seconds. And what probably caused that was, I would say, a power surge or a power reset would have dropped that out. So what I'll do is just change ports again, and I'll go to the one that I found which is the most stable, which is the one next to it. I have tried all the ports up the top, including the USB 2 ports, and they don't work at all. I've also tried the ports at the top, they don't work at all. So we'll just try again very quickly. I'll just restart the Model 24. And by the way, I've done this with another sound card. I actually have another sound card, which is a Steinberg sound card. It also doesn't work or has the same problems. So it seems to be with any sensitive equipment that requires a USB connection will have this problem. And let's just try again. So it has picked up the Model 24. Good. We'll try again. Let's see how long we last. hear the popping. Yeah, so this one seems to be stable. Oh, it just died right at the end. I got literally 3 or 4 seconds to go. There you go, it's dead. So that, it handled the power of the music audio going through to the 24, and then the 24 was drawing power to draw that audio sound through the through the sound card, and then right at the end, as it started to lower in volume, the loss or the lowering of the volume would have reduced the power consumption just slightly enough so that, because the USB ports are so sensitive and so weak and so fluctuating, they would have just dropped out altogether. So it just goes to show that they're not getting enough power to them, or it's some kind of surge. So I'm not entirely sure, but it's in the instruction set, and there is a whole bunch of articles on it. And yeah, it's really disappointing because both Gigabyte and Asus have tried to put out patches, but they haven't been successful. So what I will say is this: the Gigabyte board really disappointed me because the patches didn't even address the instruction set. At least the patches, the Asus board did put out a later patch that tried to address it, but it did not actually address it. So my advice would be to steer clear of AMD at this stage. Do not get an AMD processor. I'm completely disappointed with AMD. The reason I switched from Intel to AMD was because of, like a lot of you probably read that AMD is now dominating the foundry sphere regarding CPUs. It is pioneering a smaller chip, high quality lithography, faster instruction sets, and seems to be superior to Intel. Well, let me tell you, I'm completely disappointed. I wish I never switched from Intel, because my other computer has no issues with these sound cards, and it's an Intel based system. And it's sneaky because the AMD system doesn't actually show a flaw till you use something sensitive like a sound card. So if you actually go and have a look at like some of the other sensitive equipment, so there is actually another sound card I have right here, which is the Steinberg, and it's a UR44. Now that's a 3 ins, 3 outs plus a MIDI, and it's a USB sound card. Now that sound card is really, really good if you're looking for a small sound card for a music setup, and that doesn't even connect at all. So that has a major problem, and it doesn't connect at all. So, and the higher end being the Tascam Model 24, which is a 24 in, 24 out sound card, is struggling to work. So that's pretty disappointing for anyone who has synthesizers or does music or has anything to do with anything sensitive, possibly VR headsets as well. I've actually heard that people who use virtual reality headsets also have the same problem where they have drop-ins and dropouts. So anyway, AMD, if you're listening, fix your processors. Basically, put out a patch, put out another BIOS update through your suppliers. And one thing I will say to AMD, if you are listening, is your suppliers of your motherboards clearly do not actually know what to fix. So AMD stated that they're going to provide some instructions to motherboard producers such as Gigabyte and Asus, and then it'll be up to Gigabyte and Asus to write the code to put out for individual motherboards. Well, let me tell you, Asus and Gigabyte do not know what they're doing. They actually don't know how to fix the problem. There's something so obscure about AMD processors right now that is beyond the reach of the suppliers of the motherboards that are running the processor, and it seems to be affected by the AM4 and particularly the 5 series. So it's a major problem. Steer clear of AMD and go for Intel. Okay, thank you. I hope I've saved you all some heartache if you're on the fence about what to buy. And if you do have an AMD processor, push back to the person you bought it from and get a refund if you've got this problem, because that's what I'll be doing, and switching over to Intel. Okay, bye.